Well, joining us this morning is Cedric Simonet, of course, the CEO of Altona Rare Earths, following an announcement from the company about the discovery of high-grade gallium from their Monte Muambe project. Well, Cedric, thank you for joining us as always. How are things doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thank you, Cedric. So I know we've been waiting on a few things from Monte Muambe here. Metallurgy, of course, for the rare earths, the Fluorspar element, but now you seem to have brought a new element to the table here, gallium. So was this a surprise? Was it something you expected to find? And high grade, just talk us through, people who are unfamiliar with gallium, how significant this grade is.
Okay, so this was not expected. And I will tell you why. If you look at any source of information on the geology of gallium, gallium is normally found as a byproduct of zinc in zinc deposit in sphalerite, and also in bauxite, which is a primary ore for aluminium, and as well sometimes in coal ashes. But it's not particularly known to be found in carbonatites associated to rare earths. However, recently, several operators of carbonatite rare earth projects have reported grades of gallium. And so we decided to check our database, including gallium. So it was very easy. We just went through the results and surprised, some of the holes have actual high-grade gallium intercepts. So regarding your question about the grade, anything above 100 gram per ton or 100 ppm, gram per ton and ppm is the same thing, is considered a high grade for gallium. But gallium is never mined as a primary product. It's always a byproduct of some other minerals.
Okay. So this could potentially be mined as a byproduct along with the fluorspar or the rare earths?
Well, either. And we need to check this more carefully. What we found with these two holes is that the gallium is associated with some of the rare earth deposits, but not all. So that is the case with hole number MM040, which is on one of the rare earth target where there are very good rare earth intercepts, and that's a target that we are going to add in the next review of the mineral resource estimate. And then the other hole, hole MM039, is more located closer to the fluorspar deposits. So we are going to have to understand in detail how gallium works in the system.
Sure. Well, you said in the RNS there that the presence of gallium alongside the rare earths could improve the economics of some of the ore bodies at Monte Muambe. So you've really got to be quite selective in which ore bodies you go after. So does that mean more testing of the ore bodies and perhaps prioritizing the ones that have gallium content?
Well, when you look at the economics of an ore body, you have to look at all the parameters, the technical parameters, the different products, co-products, byproducts, and so on. So we'll have to look at this in detail in the context of the existing mineral resource estimate. But more importantly, we are going to have to try to understand if there are some other, maybe larger gallium-bearing bodies at Monte Muambe, because so far our exploration has been focused on rare earth. And we've seen that not all the gallium is associated to rare earth. There might be some areas in the intrusion where they are more significant, with even higher grades gallium ore bodies. We don't know. Again, gallium in carbonatite is something fairly new. So the first thing we are going to have to do is more exploration to find out exactly how the gallium is distributed in the carbonatite, in which minerals and which parts of the carbonatite system. And so the first things we are going to do are to look at the mineralogy, understand exactly in which minerals the gallium is present, and we are going to review our soil sample database. If you remember, we did a very large, extensive soil sampling survey at Monte Muambe, and we are going to review this to extract the gallium data and see if there are larger gallium anomalies in the Monte Muambe carbonatite.
So you'll go through the old data here and try and identify, and then would that lead you on to actually doing more work on the ground, soil sampling or indeed drilling?
Yes, it would. If we find a large gallium anomaly, definitely, if it's in an area that we have not drilled for rare earths, definitely it will require more work on the ground, probably some infill soil sampling, some trenching, and ultimately some drilling.
Okay. So is this timing sort of fairly nicely with what you're doing with the Fluorspar here? I know the samples were sent off. You're waiting them back, I think, this month, actually. And I think that will inform the next phase of exploiting the Fluorspar and the gallium adding a bit of a bonus maybe as well.
Yeah, that's correct. It's a good timing because, as you know, we are reviewing the Fluorspar potential and we are focusing on the metallurgy. Because of the civil unrest which took place after the elections in Mozambique, it took some time before we could get the samples to the metallurgical lab. But they've been delivered last week and they are being processed. So within a few weeks, we will get a sense of the metallurgy of the Fluorspar deposits. Is it possible to separate Fluorspar without impurities using gravity processes? And we would get then a metallurgical grade product. Or if we can't, is it possible to separate the Fluorspar through a flotation process which requires milling, and then we may be able to produce an acid grade Fluorspar product which has an even higher value. So as we are checking this, we are also mindful that there may also be more Fluorspar deposits within the carbonatite at Monte Muambe that we have not yet found because we have not looked for them. So if we are going to do some more exploration for gallium, we will do it for the Fluorspar at the same time.
Okay.
We would have some synergies between the two. So it's good timing.
Okay. I see. Okay, so when these results come back then for the Fluorspar, will you know it almost immediately? If you were to sort of paint the picture, let's say for the next, I don't know, 3 to 6 months, if the results come back and say, yes, okay, you can do something with it, what could it look like to actually get into producing Fluorspar?
Well, it could be quite fast. Again, that's why we wanted to do these studies on Fluorspar. Whether it's a gravity concentration plant or a simple flotation plant, these are things that are relatively low CAPEX. A flotation plant can be purchased in China, imported very quickly. So it's a very rapid setup. That's the whole idea. We don't want to spend years and years trying to define a Fluorspar deposit. We want, if it's doable, if the metallurgy says yes, we will do it immediately.
Okay, good stuff. And all the while, the rare earths is still doing the met test, or is it on hold for the moment with the rare earth prices?
We're still in the met testing, but again, our main objective right now for the rare earth part of the project is to find a strategic investor. An investor who is involved in the downstream value chain for rare earths, and we are very, very focused on this, and we are making some progress on this.
Excellent. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to speaking again, I guess, in the not too distant future when we can hopefully discuss the results of the Fluorspar met testing. And indeed, as you've reinterpreted the gallium credits here. But for now, Cedric Simonet, CEO of Altona Rare Earths, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.